Hello there and welcome to a series of videos looking to go through the content of the first year of Maths A-Level. This is the video for Surds and so that you can answer questions on exercise 1E. So just a reminder of what a surd is. It's basically a square root number that can't be simplified to a whole number again. So just a few rules of indices here. So when you times two values together, you can split them up into separate indices like this, or in reverse, you can simplify two indices being multiplied together by multiplying their values together. And when you do the square root of a fraction, you can square root each individual component together, or in reverse, if you're dividing two square roots, you can divide the values inside them and still have the square root on the top there. Now there are no rules for adding surds together or subtracting surds from each other. We'll look at how we could do that later on, but there's no general rule for how you can do that. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is look at simplifying surds. Now the way we're going to simplify surds is by reducing as much as we can this value inside the square root. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and pull out some square numbers from this 18. So from 18 we know that 9 times 2 will equal 18. And the reason I've decided to break this down into a 9 and a 2 is because I know 9 is a square root. And the square root of 9 is 3. So I can actually find out the numerical value of this term here. So what this will lead us to is 3 times the square root of 2, because we've simplified the square root of 9 back down to a 3. So when we say simplify here, what we're looking to do is decrease this value inside the square root here, maybe by multiplying it by something at the front. These two values here and here are equivalent. If you were to type them into your calculator and work out the numerical value of them, you would get exactly the same value, but this is what we would be classing as simplifying. Okay, there's a good little reminder here. Make sure that you don't get the cube root of 2 and 3 times the square root of 2 confused. Big 3 at the front means 3 times the square root of 2, and a small 3 that would appear roughly in this position here would mean the cube root of 2. So 3 times the square root of 2 and the cube root of 2 are two different things. Okay, simplifying this expression here now, let's just concentrate on the top for now. So what we need to think about is what square number, say like a 9 or a 25, will go into 20. And the one I can think of is the square root of 4. We can actually work out the value of the square root of 4, and that's 2. So what we can do here is we can simplify the top part, square root of 20, into 2 root 5. And remember, we're still dividing through by 2 here, so we can halve the top and the bottom, and you've guessed it, that will simplify to just the square root of 5. The 2 and the 2 here will cancel each other out. Okay. So here is how we're going to go through adding, potentially, some of these square root values. Now we can't just add the values inside the square root. What we need to do first is we need to get the same square root number out of all of these, so we can then add some of these together. So simplifying this term here, and this term here, we're going to try and pull out factors that are squares, so that we can then square root them. So for example, there was nothing that could come out of the square root of 6. We could split the square root of 24 into 4 times 6, because we know the value of the square root of 4. And 294, we can split that up into a 49 and a square root of 6, and we know the value of the square root of 49 is 7. So simplifying what we get here, we're going to get 5 times root 6 minus 2 times 2, so we've simplified what we've got here. 2 times 2 is 4 times the square root of 6, and then we'll add on 7 times the square root of 6. Now we can simplify what we've got here. Think of the square root of 6 as an x. Effectively what we've got here is 5x, take away 4x, add 7x. So what would you get here? You'd get 1, add 7, you get 8x. So effectively, in exactly the same way, we're going to get 8 times the square root of 6. So this is the only way you can add square roots together. You have to create a common factor of square root of 6, or maybe it might be square root of 3, or some square root value, and then you can add the values, the amounts of those square roots of 6 that you own. Okay, expand and simplify if possible. So remember, we're going to expand brackets just like we did before. So when you expand a normal number and a square root number, the best you can do with that is just to write out 5 times the square root of 2. You can't mix together a normal number and a square root number. It's a bit like an x and a y. They don't go together. You can't make xy squared out of x and a y. It's just xy. But when you've got 2 square root numbers, you can multiply those together using this rule here. 2 times 3 is 6, so it's minus the square root of 6. In this term here, make sure that you follow all the same rules that we did for expanding double brackets. So normal number times normal number, that gives us 10. Normal number times square root number, we'll just have to write that as 2 root 3. Square root number times normal number, that's just minus 5 root 3. And square root number times square root number, we can multiply there to get square root of 9. Whenever you can, simplify a square root. We can square root 9, so that's going to give us 3. So we're going to get the simplification of this term here. So 2 root 3 minus 5 root 3, that's minus 3 root 3. And 10 minus the 3, we're going to get 7. Okay, your turn now. Have a go at simplifying all of these expressions to do with surds. Okay, well done for having a go at these. Let's try and simplify these where we can. So with this, we're looking to pull out square terms wherever we can. The one that I've noticed here is the square root of 4 can be broken up with a square root of 7. And we know the value of the square root of 4, that's 2. So the answer here is 2 root 7, 2 times the square root of 7. To simplify this question 2 here, what we're going to have to do is split each of these up so that we find a common surd that we can add together. In the first term here, I can spot that we can simplify this to square root of 100 times the square root of 2. And on the square root of 18 here, that would be square root of 9 times square root of 2. And on this 72 here, that's square root of 36 times the square root of 2. It's useful to have your square numbers ready to hand so we can square root them. In this case here, we can simplify this to 10 root 2. Add, square root of 9 is 3 root 2. Subtract 6 from the square root of 36 times 2. And in this case here, it's going to be 13, take away 6, that's 7 root 2. Think of these root 2's as x, it's just going to be 7x or 7 root 2. Expanding question 3 here, square root number times normal number, we don't mix them up. And square root number times square root number, we multiply them. And we simplify where we can, so the square root of 9 is 3, so 3 plus 2 root 3 is our final answer. Okay, expanding this bracket here, so normal number times normal number, that's 6. 2 times root 5, that's 2 root 5. Minus 2, square root number, times by 3, so we just have minus 3 root 2. And square root number times square root number, that's minus square root 10. Make sure that you've got your coefficients, your signs correct on these here. Can we add any of these together? No, we can't add any of these together and simplify any further than this because the square roots aren't in common. We could simplify this here because they're all square root 2's, but think of this as like an x, a y and a z. You can't add together an x, y and a z and simplify it any further than where you are. So it's just 6 plus 2 root 5 minus 3 root 2 minus root 10. Okay, go ahead then and work through exercise 1e. Remember, watching these videos is only half the battle. Probably not even half the battle, maybe like a tenth of the battle. 9/10 of this way that we're going to conquer this Maths A-level syllabus is by practicing questions, and the only way you're going to get better at that is by doing questions. Okay, thanks for watching.